Yo, what's going on YouTube? So-called actual and Merry freaking Christmas, man. It's Christmas Eve. Happy holidays to everyone who celebrates other holidays out here, but on this side of the tracks where I'm at right now, we celebrate Christmas. We love that Christmas, and it's not going to be Christmas until we talk about a Christmas gun. And I guess we're going to kind of start, slowly getting into my collection. This video isn't going to be that long. But here we go. So if you don't know what this is an M9. This is a M9, a Beretta M9, the Italian styling, the Yippy Yay machine itself. Let's go ahead and clear this thing for you guys. Nothing there. Nothing in there. Also very lovely, lovely sound. Now, as I got to preface, I'm not a firearms expert. Just like guns. I like collecting them. They're awesome to me. So it's only right that I have a Beretta M9. In the last video with the ARs, I explained that my whole thing is more so military weapons that have been used by the military, mostly the American military, but just the military in general. And especially stuff a little bit more like I guess 90s style, because I'm a 90s baby. So when I was growing up, Berettas were the thing. I mean, Glocks of course, but Berettas were like, this was the freaking gun, man. Like this was the gun. And there's a couple of them out there. There's the 9.2 FS and there's the M9. This is a commercial M9. So this is the one Beretta made that the U.S. Factory made to kind of replicate what was issued to the military. So it has like M9 trades up there, and it has a straight dust cover, and the dust cover is this guy right here. Some of the M9 2 FSs have like a slanted dust cover. And it just looks real fancy, but I'm a fan of the straight dust cover. I've never liked that slanted one. The other big thing with these is the sights. Let me show you guys the sights here. I don't know if this is even going to be able to pick those up. Do you see that? Yeah, see those sights? I think they call them like snowman sights or something like that. But it's a single dot, and then the single dot on the front of the slide too. And I'm gonna be honest, man, aiming these things is kind of like, this is not like it's not my favorite sight picture, but it's cool. It's whatever. Why did I get this gun? I already explained that. It's a freaking M9. Why wouldn't you get it? Like, not only is it an M9, but in terms of California available weapons, because of our roster, we get everything that was basically made in the 90s. So of course Berettas are on the roster. So the story behind this one is that I always wanted an M9, but I wanted it with a rail. And if you guys know about the roster, there's, if I'm recalling correctly, there's only two Beretta 92 series pistols that are on the roster with a rail. One, I believe, is an Inox, like a silver one with a rail, which I don't think anyone has seen in years. I don't even know if probably a snowball's chance in hell trying to find one of those. Number two is the M9A1, which is everywhere right now. When I was looking for an M9A1, this was a couple of years ago, they were nowhere to be found. You could not find a freaking M9A1 to save your life. And if you did, it was probably on Cal Guns, and it was probably for a ridiculous price. I think they retail for around like $650, $750-ish, around that range. People were trying to sell those things on Cal Guns for like $1K, basically. And I saw one on Arms List, but they wanted like $1.5K for that, which is insanity. So, I kind of just gave up the search because I figured that, they didn't make them anymore. I thought they were going to cancel the line, which they did not. I guess Beretta just makes their stuff in different batches. So I got one of these instead. Now, if you don't know about these, like it's a hammer fired, dual action, single action. I'm going to try to explain this without saying anything incorrectly, but let me actually decock that. It has a decocker and a safety here, which some people, you know, do some mods, get the landing stuff to kind of get rid of that. I like all of it. I like all the original stuff in there. So the first trigger pull here is a double action, and then, you know, after the hammer's cocked back, then it's a single action, and it's cool. Firing it is very fun. It's probably one of the smoothest guns I have to shoot, simply because it's a metal gun and it's a hammer fire gun. I know you striker boys out there are like, you know, whatever. We got Glocks and stuff, and I got Glocks too, man. But nothing, in my opinion, feels better to shoot than like a metal hammer fired pistol. Like, I love my strikers, you know, that's what I practice with. That's what I, you know, do everything else with. But when it comes down to just pure shooting bliss, we're here. This is it. Listen to this. Listen to that. Listen to that. Sounds amazing. My goodness. My goodness. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. They just knew exactly what they were doing when they made this. It's absolutely gorgeous. What else? Yeah. So I couldn't get an M9A1 because it didn't have any. So I got this. And I really wanted to rock a Surefire on this. So I went on the search for how to mount a Surefire flashlight on this, and couldn't. There's a couple options. There's like a grip that you can get where you know, put on here, and the grip also includes a rail. It literally looks, no offense to anyone that has one, but that thing's ugly as hell. I gotta be honest, that thing's ugly, man. It makes the gun look disgusting, but that's, you know, personal preference. And I don't want to offend anybody. Look, if you're on my channel, I've already explained a bunch of times that I'm really into the way guns look, but it's mostly for me. So if I offend you by, you know, saying something you have on your gun is ugly or something you like, please don't, you know, it's nothing nefarious behind it. I'm just talking about for me. I would never put that on here. Then you got a couple other options. There's a couple of things that wrap around the trigger guard and go here. So you can mount a light on it. And yeah, I was looking for one of those. The best one is something called the Surefire, and I believe it's the MR07. But it's a piece that's extremely rare. It's extremely rare. They're very hard to find, and usually they cost a lot of money. A lot of money. But I found one. Let me see if I can find it. I'll be right back. Correction. Not a Surefire MR07. It's a Surefire MR11. It's this guy right here. See that? Look at that guy. You know how long it took me to find this thing? It took me a year and some change to find this thing. And when I mean like try to find it, like when I mean like I was literally like, to try to find this, you have to be a master of the resale or the resale market, or the forum market. You're not just gonna go looking on websites to find this. You got to be in them forums, AR15.com, Calguns, Reddit, gun accessories for sale, gas for short. You got to be in those areas if you want to find those rare parts. That's just simply what it is. I'm not gonna put this on, but pretty much just fits in here, gives you a mount. Then he mounts the Surefire X300 on there, and it looks good. It looks good. But as soon as I bought this, a couple of months later, the freaking M9 A1s came back in stock. How about that, huh? It always works like that. Soon as you know, you've been wanting something for a long time and it's not there, then you buy it when it comes out, or you can't buy it because you spent your money on something else. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Don't regret having another M9 in the collection. And I have a few more, so I'm gonna show those off a little later date. But as far as like kind of just showing off my collection, you know, since it's almost Christmas, I felt like this was the best way to start with this guy. And if you are in California, you know, these are still on the roster. They're coming down in price. Like, I would pick one of these up. If you want normal 3-dot sights, like normal, you know, where you got 2 dots here and a dot up there, go for an M92 FS. Go for that guy. That has that. You can even get those with the straight dust covers. They make the straight and slanted dust covers. I'm not certain which one your local gun shop has, but you can find them. the biggest thing too, also with the M9, if you have smaller hands, I don't have like huge, like, football player hands. I got like, medium sized hands. This is a little bit, these grips are kind of thick. These grips are really thick, and that was a complaint with a lot of people with the M9 series. Like, it's the grips are thick, and you're actually supposed to be able to, like, maneuver everything and access everything, without stretching your hand or taking your, I gotta do all this craziness to get the mag out and all that. So yeah, it's a little too big for me, but it still feels great. And you can always buy thin grips. They make thin grips for these. You can do that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna keep this one stock though, because I only take it to the range every once in a while, so I don't feel inclined to change anything. And a lot of people like to get these and put the Landon tactical parts in there, change the slide, get the what do you call it, the optics mount slide and all that stuff. I just like keeping these things the way God intended them. You know what I mean? Just nice and clean like this. God, the universe, whatever you believe in, whoever you think made firearms, they wanted it to look like this. So that's why we're gonna keep it like this, especially since I got this more so because it's, what the Army carried. So yeah. So here we go. This is gonna be the first of my, my handgun collection videos. Well, maybe not the first, because the first video I put out talked about my Glock 22, and that was my first handgun ever. I don't know which handgun this was in my collection. I should probably write that down. But yeah. So, once again, Merry Christmas. Hopefully you do your due diligence and you watch Die Hard tonight, or you watch it tomorrow. Hopefully you watch it and you're holding on to this. Hopefully you're being safe if you're watching it and you're holding on to this. Don't be watching Die Hard with a loaded M9. Don't do that. Make sure that thing's clear before you go out there and start pointing at the TV. Okay? So have fun, be safe, guys. Have a great Christmas, and I'll talk to you soon. So Kai Actual. Thanks for stopping by.